Chavan, thanks a lot for joining us. You may please be with us if you wish to, because we are moving into have a chat with Mihiri, who would be explaining to all our new students about the academic guidelines from the university and then the module structures and all of the details. And before I move into the session, thank you so much, all the students who have been with us for the last 2-3 semesters and who joined today, and all the staff members who joined on this session today. So while thanking, I may suggest you can make a move right now, because we will be moving to the original orientation next session that is lined up for the academic processes. So while Mihiri gets ready, I would like to just have few minutes. Chairman, if you would like to add anything, all our newbies are on board from Kandy and along from Colombo as well.
I think Mihiri, you are ready. Yeah? I mean, you already is done. So all what I'm trying to say, I want to recap the things. Apart from the excellency's explanation, we strongly believe that we are not giving only the academic background. We need to develop your networking ability, and also we need to build. We believe building leaders, and also we inspire love for learning. So those are the key factors that we want to share with you. So keep in mind, we will be really following you next 2 years, whether we are in the right track. So this is the message that we are giving from the management side. So Miri, if you are ready, you can go ahead, please. Thank you for giving us the opportunity of being with you all.
Thank you very much, Chairman. Thanks a lot. And we haven't heard much from Roshan. Roshan, are you around? Mr. Roshan Negodege is our CEO. So since we are all here, if he's around, he was just having a little disturbance earlier in terms of connection. If he's around, we would like to hear from you for a few minutes. Not a problem. I think whenever he connects back again, we will have a chat. With that, we do have Mihiri standby. Mihiri, how is your situation? Shall we move on to your next session?
Yes, Kaushali. Thank you. Thank you,
Okay,
Chairman.
wonderful.
Thank you, Dr. Rohanta. Is it clear?
Yes, you're,
Yeah, very
we are
clear.
waiting for the slides to be shared.
Right. Okay, just give me a minute.
Sure. So while Mihir is getting ready, students, if you are a current student who is currently in MBA or MSc or LLM program, who is not joining us newly for this particular semester, you can make a move from our sessions right now. But if you wish to listen to additional information, you're welcome to stick around. Okay? Right. So Mihiri will talk to
Kaushali?
us for nearly 20 minutes. Yes, Mihiri, I can see the slides, all good.
Okay,
Right.
okay,
So Mihiri
thanks.
will talk to us for about 20 to 30 minutes explaining the academic input, and then we move on to the ICT segment. Over to you, Mihiri.
Right, thank you. Good evening, everyone. I'm Mihiri. I head the Academic Administration Department. So this is a quick briefing about to say what services is available from Academic Admin Department, as well as just a quick snapshot of rules and regulations since you are enrolling to a UK degree program, master's program. So I will try to cover, the support service that is available from UK, Staffordshire University, as well as from APED. So first thing is the registration process. So what we do is, of course, you have done the registration with the counselors. By tomorrow, the counselors will hand over the files to us. And with that, we will be processing your information and will be sending those information to Staffordshire University, where they will be registering you as an internal student to their Staffordshire University master's programs. And from APIT, if we would have started face-to-face lectures today or the orientation today, we would have given you an identity card with APIT identity card, student identity card, which will show tell you that this is the degree program that you have enrolled to and the duration of the program. And second is the course schedule. Course schedule is again another document that we share with all our students to say the progress of the schedule of the program. So for example, if you are LLM students, you know that our program is 1 year. So you will have 3 terms and the course schedule gives you the commencement of this each and every term. If you are MSc or MBA students, your program duration is 1.5 years or 5 terms. So the course schedule will tell you the commencement and end dates of each and every 5 terms. So you have a clear plan of your entire program by looking at the course schedule. Now, those are one-time documents or the identity card and the course schedule. And each and every teaching block, again at the beginning from admin, you will receive a timetable. For example, LLM student who, because of the you are studying during one term, you will be studying 3 modules this semester, so that the timetable will be allocated for 3 modules entire Saturday. And MSc or MBA program, so we have a weekday and a weekend program for MBA. So your timetable will be set upon accordingly. So if you are a weekday student, your timetable will be from Thursday and Tuesday and Thursday. So you're starting your lectures tomorrow, and the next lecture would be on Thursday, whereas for a weekend student, your lectures will be starting on the upcoming Saturday. So we will be sharing those timetables with you for all the enrolled students, and these communications will happen through APIT email address. So after my session will be the IT session, and during that IC session, my colleague Pradeep will be covering, will give you the access to all emails and other resources. So you will be ready to start your lectures tomorrow with all the information. So after the timetable, it is the assessment. So assessments schedule will be again shared to you by tomorrow. So our term is generally 12 weeks. The teaching will be covered within 12 weeks. 13 week is more or less the revision week, and 14th week is where you will have final exams if you have any. Right, so we will share this assessment schedule at the beginning of each and every semester. So for example, for MBA students, the 2 modules that you are studying, by tomorrow you will have access, you will have the information when your assessments are going to be. So you can plan well ahead. Right, so similarly, each teaching block, these assessments and timetable will be shared to you. As I said, the key, the information you will receive, one way is the APIT email. So you will be getting access to that. All the communications will happen through APIT email. So I know that many of you will be having office email addresses, your personal email addresses, and one more getting added by today because you are joined into APIT. But I do encourage you to use APIT email address at any time when you are communicating, because all our information will come to APIT email address. So if you want the APIT email to be forwarded to your personal or office email address, you can talk to the IT team today and see how that forwarding arrangement can be done. But make sure that you regularly check the APIT email address. Apart from the emails, the 2 main areas are the web space, where again IT session will cover that, where you will the timetables will be uploaded, internal results will be uploaded in web space, as well as if you need academic admin letters or any other support services, there is a help desk mainly for letter request and results request. So you can have access to the help desk as well. So if you are in requirement of any letters. And last but not least is the learn management system. We call it APIT LMS. This is where all your teaching materials will be there. And APIT has online submissions, so we don't do any hard copy submissions. So all your assessment will be 100% online submissions. Therefore, you need to have access to LMS. LMS will provide you all the teaching and learning material, as well as that is the platform for you to do the submissions. So today during the IT session, you will be having access to this. So make sure that you have access, and before you come to lectures tomorrow, join online lectures, please go through the LMS and see whether you have the access. So then and there, if the lecturers are updating slides or reading material or quizzes or any teaching learning activities, you should be able to access them through LMS, right? So by today's end of today's session, you should have access to all of these, and these are the 3 areas that you from APIT to student, generally the communication will happen. And these are your modules. So it's depending on the program that you are studying. So MBA, MSc or LLM, these are the modules. Whatever the program that you are in, you have to cover 180 credits, right? So all the modules, it's a must that you pass and complete, including your dissertation. And the syllabuses or the module descriptors will be available in LMS for you to access and see all the modules. What is the content, or what kind of assessments are there, what are the reading materials, everything will be available in your LMS. So once you have the access, please go through the syllabus so that you can get a clear understanding on each and every module. So up to now, what I said is I quickly went through what are the information that you need in order to start your program tomorrow or by this Saturday. So you will be getting the timetable from us. You will be getting the assessment schedule from us, the course schedule for the entire program. And after this session, you will be having the IT session to give you access to LMS web space and your emails, right? So these are the key information or that you need in order to start your program. So as I said at the beginning, I will quickly give a snapshot of the rules and regulation also. You don't have to buy hard anything on this. I will be sharing all the rules and regulations, the relevant links with you once your emails are set up so that you can read on them. But just a quick understanding, as I said, you need to pass all the modules, including the dissertation, in order to go for your master's program or in order to achieve your master's degree. So once you pass all the components, you will be receiving 180 credits, and that is you are entitled for a master's. If you fall short of any of these modules, which should not be the case, but if you do not complete any of these modules, you will end up with like a PGC or PGD, depending on the credits that you have achieved. So it is a must that you pass. You have to pass all the modules that is available in order to go for a master's. So each teaching block, as I said, is 12 weeks, and you have 13th week and the 14th week for revisions and assessments. And each and every module, the pass mark is 50. Additionally, now overall your masters can be overall masters also can be classified masters with distinction, masters with merit, masters that is a general pass. So if your average is above 60% when you add all your modules together, and if you have maintain an average over 60%, you will end up with a masters with merit. And or if you have an average above 70%, that will be a distinction. So if you need to know how this calculation works once you have your first or second semester results, please do write to me so I can even send a workout to you or the relevant regulations. But time being, just remember that pass mark is 50, and you have the chance to go higher grades, so that if you end up with more higher grades, and your average is above 70%, you have a possibility to go for a distinction as well. So the progression path is if you are studying the LLM program, you have your first 2 semesters, that is within 8 months you will be completing your coursework. But if you are in the MSc or MBA program, the coursework will go to 1 year, and you will have a 6 months dissertation program. So for example, if you are LLM students, your first semester is starting October, and your second semester is starting in February or rather March, and your third semester is starting in July, and you are submitting your dissertation somewhere in October, November, and your final results will come from the exam boards in 2022 January. So your transcripts will be available in 2022 January. And if you are MBA or MSc students, you have 5 semesters. So your last semester would be somewhere in June. Your last submission somewhere in June 2022. but all the students will be graduating at the December graduation because we have annual graduation in December, but the time you receive your transcript will vary depending on the program duration. Again, if you have any clarifications, do get back to me by email even with regard to this. But we encourage you to not to take any breaks in between, because and continue at a stretch these modules, which is in order to graduate with the time frame. You have the entire duration is 1.5 years or 18 months. So for MBA or MSc students, so we encourage you to continue so that within the stipulated time you can complete your degree. Because if you defer at the next time, the module may not offer. We have a rotation base of modules, so always we encourage you to complete within the given time frame. So these career progressions, if you go to the Staffordshire University website, you can see what are the opportunities available if you complete the LLM or a MSc or a MBA, and how well you can use this expertise to your in these different careers, and how you can perform well. Then student voice is where I would encourage all the students, if you have any concerns then and there, please do talk to your academic administrator, your head of school, the board coordinator, and get things sorted out. It is our objective is to just as we have planned entire your course schedule, course is planned, we want you to everybody to be seated in 2022 graduation, and everybody to pass all the modules and complete in the first go. Because of that, we need to hear your voice if things are not, if you are struggling with anything, or if you have other commitments and you need additional support, please talk to us then and there, where we can make adjustments. However, by fourth week of the semester, head of school and the board coordinators will have a meeting. Unfortunately, hopefully, right now we can't meet face to face, but hopefully if we can meet by the fourth week of the semester, we can have face-to-face meeting. If not, it will be Teams meeting, and you can voice out and say, after studying for 4 weeks, if there are any things that is you are struggling or any further support is required, please voice out so that we can do the changes. Course appraisal is something that we do at the end of the semester. So this is an anonymous form that you can give your opinion as to say how well we could have done the program, or if there are good things that would have happened, you can voice them out so we can continue to do so. Annual survey is also an anonymous form, unless other than the course appraisal. This is once a year, and this will cover all the support services and everything. So we encourage you to fill this form for us to improve our services. Those are the formal ways, but in addition, of course, you have your academic administrator. So Charmaine, my colleagues, and Alan are the key administrators who are supporting the postgraduate program. So they will be there in the evening hours as well as in Saturdays. So, and continuously you can contact them through their direct numbers or emails. So then and there, when you have issues, please keep them informed. And of course, student support services is there for any other matters, your personal grievances or anything that if you want us to assist, we will be there. These are the rules and regulations that I just briefed you about. At the beginning, I told you that I will be sharing. For example, this will say, these regulations will cover how your classification is worked out. And these regulations will cover, about academic conduct. Academic conduct is a serious regulation. I think you all are aware in globally, this outsourcing assessment is an issue. So universities, Staffordshire University is very strict in those things. So you have to do the online submission and through Turnitin. Turnitin is a platform where your plagiarism will be checked, whether you have properly referenced, whether you have outsourced. So everything will be checked, and the penalties are very high. It can be a module failure, or even even to exit from the program with whatever the available credit with a PGC or a PGD. So make sure that you get the proper guidance about academic writing. So there may be students who are quickly joining after the MSc or the postgraduate programs after the degree. At the same time, there may be a set of students who have coming after a break. You might have taken you might have done the degree about 10 years ago, and you are coming to your postgraduate program after after some time, after a break. So if you want to improve your academic writing, referencing, please keep us informed. So even it can be a group of students individually, we can keep the lecturers informed, and additional sessions can be arranged. But please, these things has to happen before you do the submission, not closer to the submission, well ahead of the submissions if you are struggling with these things, and we are there to help you. And another key regulation of Staffordshire University is they are very focused on the deadline. So if it is an assignment to be submitted within 10 weeks, the submission deadline are given accordingly. And as I told you, these are online submissions, so the times are set to 5 p.m. Whether it's a weekday or a weekend, it will be 5 p.m. And so make sure that you do your submission on time. If there is a late submission, maximum within 5 working days you can do a late submission, but the penalty is that the marks will be kept to a pass mark, which is a 50, provided that you go higher than that. Say you got a 67 for your assignment, but you could not submit on time, you submit few hours late, it will be kept to 50 marks. So the lecturer will mark as an original submission, but once the marks are processed, if we can see it is submitted late, it will be capped to 50. But however, there is a room if it is for a valid reason. For example, you were hospitalized for some time, and you couldn't do your work, and you have additionally 2 or 3 days you have requested. Then provided support evidences are attached, you will be given an extension. But however, it is subject to the EC panel's approval, or what we say is exceptional circumstance committee's approval. So, but you need to know. So if you can't meet a deadline, keep your administrator informed. They will share you the relevant regulation, relevant forms, so that you know you can complete your program without any penalties, right? So there are some other rules and regulations also, if you are taking a break, what will happen, what is the duration of the degree program, and all such essential regulations, which I will share with you. So with that, I can wind up. But if there are any questions that you need, you can ask now. If not, so I am sharing Charmaine's email address and direct number here, as well as I'm Mihiri and my email address and direct number. As I told you, I will be sharing the rules and regulations here. After this, once your emails are set up, I can share them as well. But I can spend a couple of minutes if you have a question. Otherwise, I can let to start, since it is almost 8:30. We can go ahead with the IT session as well. So not to worry, as I said, we will share the timetable. You are starting, if you are a weekday batch, you are starting lectures tomorrow. An assessment schedule will be shared to the email address. And if you are a weekend batch, you are starting on Saturday early morning. So the timetables will be shared, and LMS will be there. So you to access all the learning material, and you will be getting the access to that. So at least if you have that, you're good to go. Don't worry about other essential regulations. You know, we can time to time I will be sending emails to just to remind them, so you don't have to worry. But if you don't have get the timetable or assessment schedule, please directly write to us or call us. So tomorrow itself we can sort everything out, and you can go ahead with the program. So yeah, Kaushal, if no
Thank
questions,
you very much, Mihiri.
yeah.
Thanks a lot for your support and for explanation. Let me remind you, students, make sure that we have sent you the orientation schedule along with the staff directory and the guideline for you to join the sessions today. So that staff directory will have all the contacts of academic administration team and ICT team and all the other support staff team along with the email addresses and the contact numbers. So I would say if you are to reach out, even if you miss out Mihiri's and the team emails here, you already have that with you in your email accounts along with the schedule. Right. So Mihiri, thank you so much. And Shaman is at the back end. I know even though the visibility has not come in. Thank you so much, Shaman, for all the support. And Alan being at the back as well. Right, because there's quite a team. I can't tell all the names, but you will get to know when the program starts going on. So with that, Pradeep is here. The IT segment is starting right now. So until he sets it up, I have few messages to give you. So we will today, since we are anyway running behind schedule, we do not want to keep you waiting and longing into a detail and a lengthy session as well. We will cover the setting up of emails, right, and accessing your learning management platform today. However, I want to keep you informed. After this session, you have a 15-minute session with your academic administrator as well, right? So considering all of this, I'm letting you know, even though the IT session is happening today, we will be available online tomorrow between 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. for you to come on board and to have all your problems and your login errors and your doubts that you would have to be clarified, right? So, and at the same time, at the end of the sessions today, this recording is going on. We will also be able to send you the links to your email accounts starting from tomorrow. However, that email will be shared with your email account that is set up by Appit, right? So most of you are joining us through your personal emails today. So unfortunately, we will not be sharing these emails with your personal emails. So please focus on getting the Appit email account set up today. And then once that is done, you will have the access tomorrow afternoon for you to coordinate with us for further learning. So with that, Pradeep, over to you.
I guess I am audible.
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
For me, how about
Everyone.
students, all of you? Yes, we do have some students who have progressed from undergraduate programs. So I'm sure they are a little, convenient and familiar with the setup. But at the same time, it's important you being here because the program differences are there and the module differences are also there. So Pradeep, I am okay in terms of audibleness. And then how about others?
And then you can see my screen as well, I guess.
Yes, that's right.
So what I'm going to do. Good evening, everyone. And as these people introduce, my name is Pradeep, and what I'm going to.
Yes, I'm really sorry, Pradeep. We are so comfortable calling you all the time with Pradeep. Guys, I'm sorry about it. Pradeep is our head of information center, I would say, supporting segment for us from the ICT department. So he is the one who's going to be briefing all of you about all these techniques and the opportunities that you have. All right, over to you back again.
Okay, so what we are basically planning to do today is to introduce the, Appit, basically the teaching and learning cloud platform, right? So what I mean is basically we provision you, some details about, some services as well as, basic parameters like emails and things like that. To that, together with the cloud, what you get is not only the email facility, but together with the email facility, what we provide is the some stack of applications as well over the cloud, right? So good old days, people were happy with email, and then they go to internet and access email. But now I think it is more than that. So what we will plan here to do a session with regard to number of services what we provide, but I think as time permits, we will cover the cloud platform first, and then we'll try to go ahead, right? So I guess all of you guys are in front of a computer or any device that we can use surf and go to the internet and all that, right? So
Pradeep, I am sorry to disturb you. There are few raised hands. I believe whether there are any concerns in terms of the communication. Yes, Amal, you had a question? Amal? And there is another student who is with the raised hand, which I am not being given the visibility, but anyone else having a question? Okay, please continue, Pradeep.
will basically cover is the cloud platform, right? So let's, without further ado, we go to a browser, right? So go to a browser and type this URL, right? Portal.office.com. So we'll go there and then we'll provision our services, over the cloud platform. So then we'll try to, go here and there and within the app portal and see how this can be used for teaching and learning specifically in this master's program, right? And also I'm telling you now, some of the people, specifically the LLM people, right? I'm sorry to say this, but I have found and I have noticed that some of the LLM people are not tech savvy, and then they find it really difficult sometimes. But in that case, do keep us posted about those areas. Like, we are even happy to do, continuous sessions and, familiarizations and all that, right? Even one-to-one, sessions to get certain things clarified. I mean, it's a kind of a technology driven, kind of a program what we run here. That is basically coming from the undergraduate programs as well. So we have deployed across all the entire community, right? So some not be fair, but so this one I can't, I can't comment on anything else, but rather than using the platform, right? So therefore, I guess there are some senior people, very senior lawyers, and like that. But at least keep in touch. That is very very important, because when you have a problem or something like that, because then we will be able to give you a kind of a instant support, right? So I will be sharing my contact details and my WhatsApp numbers and all my team email addresses and all that, but do let us know about your concerns and then about your difficulties and all that. Maybe not at the end of a semester or not at the end of your program, but it's a kind of ongoing. ICT support is basically blended with your learning process. So there is no way that IT support is isolated and maybe measured at the end of the program or whatever. So I don't believe that. So basically, but do keep keep in touch, and then we'll try to solve most of the issues as soon as possible. So let's go to the URL. Yeah, open up maybe a new tab in the browser, right? So you type this URL portal.office.com and then you will come here. So you will actually come to a place like this where you want to enter your username and password, right? So first the email address. So your email address is basically going to be this, right? It is your CB number at students.apit.lk. Do also believe that at the moment you have been communicated about your CB number, your student number. So at Tapit, what you call is your CB number. So everyone would ask, when you go to a query, what is your CB number? So you don't want to be panicked. So it is your student number, right? So I think all the people should be having the CB number as at now, it has to be started with CB00 and then maybe 4-digit number, right? So it has to be maybe 8009 number or maybe a 9000 series, initial number, right? At students.apit.lk should make sure that you type this domain as it is, because don't miss any spellings there, because if you are missing anything, meaning you are typing a different domain, right? So do type the domain as it is, and also your number with the CB number, right? So I have created a kind of a demo account for this purpose. So my selected one is this. So the default password is this, right? So it is double simple A, double capital 2, and exclamation at, right? So this is also little, easy to remember, I would say, right? Simple double A, capital double A, 1, 2, and then exclamation at side, right? These are kind of, complexity requirements that you might need to maintain over the cloud platforms, right? So do remember your password as well. So I'm typing. So once you type the password, you will come to a screen like this where you will need to provide additional information, right? So there are two things that we are actually putting here. These are very industry standard things actually what we have, right? So one is your mobile number and the other one is your alternate email address. So the idea behind this is, in case if you forget your password, so you don't have to call IT for changing the password actually. So you need to go to the cloud portal and then go with the forget password option, and then you are required with these two information. One is your mobile number and one is your alternate email address for verification, right? So go next, and then you will come here to set up your mobile number first, and then to set up your email address second, right? So go ahead and set it up. So what I'm trying to do is I'm going to set up my mobile number first. Select the country, right? The country is Sri Lanka. So select it, and then you type your mobile number, right? I'm typing my number. So then you will get a code, right? You will get a code from Microsoft, right? Actually use the text me option. So then you will get a code from Microsoft, about 6-digit code. And then type the code here. And then do the mobile verification. Okay. So that's the first stage. And then if you have done so, you have to go ahead and do the second part, which is the email verification as well, right? So if you are so quick, you can go ahead and do that, because I'm restarting my phone. So we will find the code. There will be a 6-digit code coming to your mobile. Right, and say verify. So you are able to verify. So So I'm going to go ahead and do the email part as well. So type your alternate email address here. So alternate email address is basically your Gmail address or something like that. Maybe your office email address can also be used, but use a personal email address, because you know these official email addresses are uh, not good for use for the different purposes. No? So use a personal email address, say, and email me, right? And then and you will also be able to open a different tab of the browser, and then open that email as well. So once you are done with that, then you that particular email and uh, see the verification code. So I have logged into my Gmail, right? So I'm waiting for email to come. So I got the email, right? And then I'm going to copy this code, right? And then come here and paste the code here. It was not copied, I guess.
Hello, excuse me, Pradeep. Sorry for the disturbance.
Yeah, go ahead.
Actually, I'm a very new student. Still, I haven't created that PIT email and also the student ID number. So, will I have to wait until once it is done? Or?
Yeah, if you have not got the PB
Yeah,
number,
let me check. Tazim, you have not
Tanzim.
completed your, sorry, Tanzim, sorry. Tanzim, you have not completed your registration, is that right?
Yeah.
Fine. In that case, I would say you do have an option where you can be a a person who's visiting over here and checking this out right now. If not, I would suggest once you complete your registration, you go through this link, because you would definitely need your registration number in order for you to continue the registration along with us now.
Okay, fine.
Okay. All right.
Okay, we will be sharing this video with you guys maybe at the later stage.
Exactly.
So
Yes.
definitely you can go through the video and do this steps as well. So I'm actually little slowly running this session, so therefore I think you should be able to capture that. So I'm finished. I'm done with this. So I'll say finish.
Okay, thank you.
And then use the option because if you say yes, because then your username and password, your email address and the password will be saved in the browser, and then it will be there. So I'm using the option no, right? So then I'll come to the cloud platform. So my cloud platform is ready, right? So it's all done. So if you want to access your applications in the cloud, so you can go here, or else you can use this ribbon, vertical ribbon. So my familiarization is basically here. So you have all these applications, and if you say all apps, so there are some more applications as well. So what we have done here is, now in good old ages, basically you are familiar with these Office applications being installed onto your local devices, like wherever you go, like you want to carry your laptop for documentation, and then sending a letter, say, writing an email and things like that. But now most of the things have been converted to mobile friendly, and then on the fly also you want to send emails, maybe at least a complete part of your documentation, maybe use voice commands to certain things, documentations and things like that. So therefore, what we are proposing is for the new generation, right? So use this platform. Now the first is basically the Outlook app, which is the traditional app, right? So this is basically your email box. So what we do, right? As you can see, I have got one particular email, and then if you want to go to your inbox, and then you will see some other emails and things like that if you want. And then, there are certain settings like, if you want to forward your emails, you can do it, right? I'm not going to do that because there are certain other things to cover. And then the other important area is basically OneDrive. Okay, so the OneDrive is really very important. Now, why do I say that OneDrive is very important? Because this is going to be your cloud storage space. I mean, most of the people, they might have used Google Drive and things like that with a limited capacity. But what we provide here is 1 TB of cloud space, right? So the beauty here is now, if the people are IT savvy people, and then if you have used Drive for document sharing to form creations to all that, so all of these features are available here. Now, the beauty with the OneDrive is you can actually keep your folder structure as it is, right, on the OneDrive, right? And also, you can share your documents with your group members, your friends, and all your colleagues if it is required. If there is a group assignment or things like that, if there is a different use case, like, you can use this OneDrive for those kind of purpose. You can do all of this. You can create folders, you can create Word documents, you can create Excel documents, any kind of documentation you can do here, right? If I am to use the, we say materials, so I can simply create folders. And if the on the other hand, if I would say, like, if you we will doing the LMS session as well. Now, if you want to complete the, go to the LMS, your learning management system, and then download your materials. So the OneDrive is the ideal place for you to store. I mean, I also am aware that, people are little familiar with their local devices, laptops, and things like that. Maybe some of the people, they think on the external hard disk and, pen drives and all that. But mind you, now all of these things are, made for a lifetime, like, so if you have a laptop hard disk, and then if you have used it for maybe a couple of years, maybe, that's the lifetime of that. I mean, we're pretty much similar with the external devices and pen drive. I have come across a lot of situations where people come up with, students come up with assignments at the very last minute. The pen drive was corrupted, the document was corrupted, and all that. So the good thing here is, if you store your document here, now if I am to create a Word document, I can simply go ahead and create a Word document here, right? So this is basically Word. So whatever the things you use on your local device, all of these things are there. And good thing is that it is going to be automatically saved on your OneDrive itself. And if you want to rename this particular document, like, my assignment, I can do that, right? And you don't have to worry about saving your document, because as you type, the document is going, you can see that, it is saving, right? So those are the very, beautiful, cool features. And then when you come to the OneDrive, you also can see your OneDrive, your Word document is basically saved on the OneDrive itself, right? So that is there. So these are very important. And then when you create the Word documents also, now if I go to Word, right? So I can create Word document. Now the earlier created Word document is also there. Now if you want to share this document with with your friends, right? You can share this document, right? So you can select this option and then say whatever the CB number, your friend's CB number, I will say 9012. Okay, somebody, I don't know who it is. And then you can share this document with your friend actually. Now, if you want these people to edit that, you can, put the allow editing part also. Now, you can set the timeline also. If you want to set a password for that, your friend can only with the password, you can still do that. And then if you want to, set up a timeline, after a particular time frame, this document cannot be accessed, you can still do that as well. Now, all of these security features are embedded with the online application, right? So you can simply do that, right? Now these are very important when it comes to the submissions and things like that. Part by part, most of the people, they do several parts, and everywhere finally somebody can sit together and merge the document. Now in this case, merging is happening on the fly, right? So it is very important that you use this online application for your teaching and learning. So that pretty much uh, uh, we have made your life easy, and then it is very flexible in using these applications. The other important application is basically the Microsoft Teams, right? So this is also very much important. Now, why I say that it is important, because of this COVID thing, you will not be able to come to the APIT premises, right? So you to basically use this Teams application for online lectures. So this is the platform we also use. Now the recommended version is the now for the demonstration purpose, I will also use the web app. Okay, so basically what you can do is you can download your Windows app, and then you can actually try to use that. But you can use the web application as well, right? Uh, so this is my Teams app. So if I open my Teams app, then run. So you will have the Teams application available on your device. There is no installation required. This is a kind of a link file that is basically there. You will be able to basically work with the Teams application, right? So this is also pretty easy. And then you can go ahead and create your groups in the team, and then you can send invitations, you can schedule meetings with your friends, right? And this also can be used used for some of the other activities as well. Now if you use WhatsApp or something like that for the collaboration, like for the conference meetings and things like that, now it is pretty much difficult, like because there is a maximum number of users. There are a number of users that is being there, like the limit that you can use WhatsApp for this kind of a thing. So therefore, I basically want you to use this Teams application for your collaboration aspect as well, because that is also very much important when it comes to online classes, right? You can conduct online classes with this platform, and there are little very much cool features in this. Now, if I am to elaborate little more on this thing, right, you can actually go ahead and create teams. Like if you go to Teams, you can go ahead and create a team, right? And then you can provide the name and all that, right? I would say test, and then say next. And then you can add your members of your teams, right? Add the members, like what I can add is CB009012. I'm not sure with okay, luckily that person is there, so I can add those kind of members and create your own team, right? So by the time you add this, your member will also be notified with that saying that this particular person has created a team like this, and you are a member of that particular team, right? So you can also do that. And the other thing is, now if I go to the calendar, now this is the place where actually you get your calendar invitations seen. Okay, now this calendar is basically synced with your Outlook calendar as well. Now the Outlook calendar, what I mean to say is, if you use your Outlook as the email platform on this particular platform, right? Not your office email or your personal email, but basically the student email. Now that calendar and this calendar is basically synced. Now, if I am to showcase my team's calendar, now this is actually my team's calendar, right? So if I am go to the calendar option, now you can see there are a lot of meetings that I have scheduled, and then somebody else also scheduled, and then they are in the basically my Outlook calendar as well as my team's calendar. right? So these two calendars are basically in sync. Now it will take some time for me to load this because there are a lot of entries in my personal I mean my official calendar. But you know it is this. Now if you want to join the online lectures, now you need to basically come here and see what is being scheduled. Sometimes lecturers are scheduling on weekly basis. Sometimes they schedule it across the semester because the timetables are fixed, right? So what will happen is you will come here and then you will see the scheduled meeting on the calendar, right? And then you will be able to go ahead and see the calendar and join to the meeting. So there will be a join meeting button available by the time when the time is scheduled time is getting closer. Now you can see these are my calendar entries, like now by the time when you go, your join button will appear. Now by clicking on this button, you will be able to join to the session as you do as you did it today as well, right? So these are this is a kind of a platform that we use extensively for online classes, right? And then with this platform again you will be able to share files and things like that. If you go to the Teams, so this is the team I have created. Now if you want to share files with your lecturer and with your friends also, share files here as well, right? You can add the file and upload the file, and all that can be done here, right? So this is also a kind of a very cool feature in the cloud platform. Now in addition to that, what I want you to understand is the use cases of the online applications, like the Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and all these applications are very much important when it comes to the Office 365 cloud platform. And then do make utilize of it, and then do use it for your teaching and learning because it's important. Now any questions related to this platform before I move to the LMS part? I think we will be able to do the LMS part as well because there are 6 minutes available. Any questions if I am to start, before I am to start the the LMS part? You are with me? Yes. Okay. No. So no sound, meaning there are two things that I can understand. You have done everything and then everything is perfect. Or else,
Excuse me. Actually, Pradeep, there's one question.
yes.
So this is regarding the password policy. So because I think you had shared a common password earlier.
Correct.
So if we were to change it, what are the requirements, or what is the requirement in terms
Okay.
of the characters and whatnot to set that?
That's a very good question. I was to address it at the end because we want to change the password at the end, right?
Right.
So basically, the minimum length, I mean, this is a very industry standard perspective. Minimum length, so min length is basically is 8 characters, right? Min length is 8 characters, but you have to use at least one simple letter, right? One capital letter, and then one number, okay, and one alphanumeric character. So now, if you check my password, the password I have set, okay, this has all of these combinations, right? So you need to meet this kind of a complexity combination, right? So do use that kind of a complex password because there are certain issues that we have come across in the past also, like these some people, they used to put their name as the password, and then they used to put their CB number as the password. Then everybody is aware about it, and then these profile pictures being changed and all. Those are some unwanted issues that we have come across. So therefore, make sure that you put a strong password, right? So that is important. Anything else? Okay. So I think within next 5 minutes, what I am going to cover is how to set up your LMS profile, right? So to do that, so we'll go to the LMS part, and then rest I think we will try to cover it maybe within another session, because we got delayed in the first session I think. So this URL, okay, lms.appit.lk. Okay, so I have loaded my site here in one of the tabs. Okay. So go to this particular tab, and then the key thing that you need to remember is basically, now if you're using your student login, so you have to come and log in. Now this login is basically for staff. Okay, so don't use this username and password box, but you can actually straight away come here and log in from Office 365 education login. So that is the login what we have created for students. And the other good thing is that now this is again integrated with your email credentials, right? So you don't want to remember anything else, but just the email address and password. If you remember, then you will be able to log into LMS as well, right? So this is a kind of a single sign-on platform. So I'm going to click on this, and then you will see straight away my profile is being appeared. Why it is happening? Because I have logged into the email platform as well on the same browser on a different tab. So therefore, it asks usernames and passwords, right? But it will straight away logging you and then come to your profile. Okay. Now once this is done, now all the necessary information I think we have filled. Okay, but if you need to have a change kind of a thing, you can still do that, but don't change the email address. Email address is a kind of a fixed thing, right? That is required for a verification purpose. You can upload profile pictures and things like that later, and then at this point what I do is I straight away go ahead and update my profile. Okay, so once you update your profile, right, the LMS basic part is done, right? So you can go to your, I mean, here when you come to the profile preferences, you can edit your profile, like you can, change certain things, parameters can be changed, and all that is that are available, right? So I will go to the home tab. So when you go to the home tab, basically come to the dashboard of your profile, right? And then, so this is basically your dashboard, right? So you will have all necessary academic related information line up here, like, all the here, CC forms and things like that, what Miri was talking about. All the soft copies are available here, right? And then the most importantly, your current modules, the modules that you follow for this particular semester, those will appear here, right? So the Kanishka will do the back-end syncing part as at now, because I guess most of the people, they have come to this point now. So once the backend process is updated, so your profile will automatically come here. What I mean to say is, now the modules, what I mean to say is, now the modules that you follow in this particular semester, right? Now, from semester to semester, these modules are going to be changed. And also, the modules that you follow in this particular semester will not be there in the next semester. Now, if you are worrying about your materials, I think you need to download those materials. And then we have provided you a cloud space here, right? You can actually place in the cloud space as well, right? So for the future references. So I think, these materials are, those are not like, very unique kind of thing. Obviously, they are qualified academic stuff, but, when you go to internet, most of the materials are available, common things are available. Sometimes people are not that, except for exams, right? So anyway, what I suggest is you download those materials from the LMS, and then you can save it on the OneDrive according to a kind of a nicely arranged folder structure, right? So, but there is a different session that we do on LMS for online submission and the assignment submission, right? So, be a different session arranged for that because there is a bit of a technicality in this. But you need to note here now. When you submit your online assignment, it is being basically verified by the plagiarism software called Turnitin, right? So the Turnitin integration is done at the back end. So the moment you upload your assignment to the LMS, it is with world resources for the plagiarism, and then we will report you on the percentage of the plagiarized content. So you need to have a kind of a idea about how you do the assignment, and then what is the validity of your originality of your assignment and your personal work, as Mihiri explained. So don't to the extreme cases like you go to the disciplinary panels and being questioned about the content and then outsourcing and things like that. So those are kind of unnecessary things that I think we will run into, right? So this is it about the LMS part, but certain areas on web space and things like that. Kaushali, is it okay if I take another couple of minutes?
How many minutes are we looking at, Pradeep?
At
Because I
least,
don't think we would rush and we would like to, focus on
okay.
getting the exact details.
Okay.
So we
then
will be having.
what we will
Yeah,
do is
if
we
I have
will
to
have a
clarify, I think we have to focus on getting their module accessibility and then the learning management system. Is that correct?
correct.
Right. So since all of us are here and all the students are here, let's check with them. We will have a session, as I said, scheduled up tomorrow from 5
Okay.
p.m. to 6 p.m. So that is prior to them starting their online classes, where this can be explained to them and allow them to log into the logins using their CB email. Will that be all right with everyone? Please raise your hand to give us a notification. If there's anyone having a difficulty joining us tomorrow between 5 to 6, please voice out and let us know. That's important we get this communication.
Meanwhile, Kanishka, if you can make sure that the module availability is done, so then I think we are good to wind up.
Right.
Okay.
So we don't have any objections,
Hello,
Pradeep. Sorry, someone
hello.
was voicing. Yes.
Yes.
Hello. Tomorrow at 5 to 6 o'clock, I'm working. I have working hours.
Okay.
Right. So are you in the weekend program or are you in the weekday
Yeah,
program?
I'm at the weekend program.
Okay, if you're in the weekend program, not to worry. Our focus tomorrow is for the students who are in the weekday program, who are starting the lectures tomorrow at 6 o'clock. So if you're having your weekend program, not to worry. Before the end of Saturday, we will communicate you for another slot in for you to have this explanation, right? I believe that's clear enough, right? And for the students who are in the weekday program, who are starting lectures tomorrow, this is the time that we are slotting in from 5 to 6 p.m. so that you can straight away go into the lecture. And I guess that would be fine. I will give 1 minute if you have anyone else is having a difficulty to communicate.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, Vipul. Yes.
Yes. I am raising the same question that Sansim asked earlier.
Okay.
The CB number. How do I obtain the CB
Right.
number?
Fine.
Yeah.
Okay, just to answer you, if you have already, every student, if you have already made your registration, meaning by making the registration payment and maybe the course payment as well, you will be receiving a receipt which indicates a number starting from ZB00 and a 4-digit number. If that number is not there with you, not to worry. You have your orientation schedule with you, and in the schedule you have the staff directory. In that directory, Charmaine's contact is given. So I suggest you call Charmaine tomorrow morning between 9 to 12 to obtain your CB number, which is CB00 and a 4-digit number, and then you can proceed with the registrations from there. Okay?
Thank you very much.
Right. Perfect. So if that in mind, Pradeep, I think we can wind up for now, and we will have two
Yes.
sessions lined up. One is immediately tomorrow from
Okay.
5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Everyone who is joining the classes tomorrow starting at 6 p.m., please do join us on the same platform, right? We will send you the meeting invitation at the end of the day today or tomorrow morning. So not to worry, you can join that and we will get the remaining covered. And for the students who are starting the weekend lectures, before Friday, we will let you know a time slot in, and then we will have that meeting to cover the remaining, right? Okay, so having that in mind, Pradeep, I'm thankful that you did understand everyone's concern, especially, with the home front, the students who are joining us from home front with their networking capacity and then having certain difficulties in connectivity. So we will now try to wind up the session for the day today. And what's going to happen now is business students who are in the MBA program from Kandy and Colombo will remain in the same platform, same chat room, same meeting. You are not going to leave because Dr. Rajita is here. In 5 to 10 minutes, he will explain you the immediate needful for the academic input, right? And then LLM students, if you notice in your email account, you will have another email invitation for you to join the session where you are meeting your academic coordinator, right? So LLM students can leave the chat room, this one now, and click the other link and join the LLM session. Similarly, MSc students, please do leave this chat room at the end of this communication, and you can leave the email that you have got for you to invitation that you have got for you to join the MSc session starting at 9:05, right? Are we clear? Anyone having a difficulty? Right, so we are clear. So all the best to every one of you. Now, why I'm just saying bye to you from our end is all of you are going into 3 different platforms. So you will be meeting your relevant academic coordinator for 5-10 minutes, and we will end our orientation day 1 session for today, right? So not to worry, we'll be back tomorrow from 5 to 6 to join and complete the IT segment and to have your further clarifications clear. All right, so with that, team, thank you so much for your support as always, being there and supporting students and communicating this for everyone. I think we did a good input, and we shared all the information that is relevant to all the students. And thank you so much for your support again, and I would like to wind up from here for Dr. Rajita to continue his academic input. Okay, Dr. Rajita, over to you.
Thank you, Kaushali.
Rajita, please give few minutes until the others do depart, and
Yes.
you can start in a minute's time. Yes. All right, doctor, you may start now.
All right. Thank you, Kaushali.
You're welcome, doctor. Good night. I'm going to make a move to the other chat room to join professor. So I believe you're good here.
Wonderful.
Okay. Thank you, doctor. Good
All
night.
right, everyone. Good night. Okay, everyone, let's have a quick chat. I'm not going to do a very lengthy session today. Just to give you some briefing about what are the areas that we are going to consider. And basically, now this is one of the differentiated MBA, I would say, because you can get many MBAs which are 1-year programs, but this is 1.5 years program. As you know, it is going to be very important for future options. Because when it comes to certain things, I think you have taken a correct decision, because locally and internationally, people are considering about more than 1-year programs. 1 year it is easy, but this is actually 18 months, which means the extent and the coverage of the modules are greater than most of other programs. And at the same time, according to the structure, we have 9 assessments that you have to complete. In this 9 assessment, actually, apart from 2, rather 3, because there is a research component, which is guided research. You will be allocated with a supervisor. Then you have to work with a supervisor and you have to complete that research. Well, this is one of those programs which is with a comprehensive research experience that you are going to have. Now, because of that, I would say like that is also one of the differentiated factor, because at the end of the day, most of the people, I mean, who are getting MBA, the main thing that they can remember, main thing that they are contributing, main thing that they position in their mindset is the research. Then because of that, now this is going to be highly extended kind of a research work experience that you are going to get. Because why I'm saying it, then you will be facing 2 Viva sessions. One is midpoint presentation and also final presentation upon the completion of your complete research work. And also same time, there are 2 finance modules. I mean, these are the only 2 modules that you will be having in class test, right? There will be 2 tests that you are going to face. Because, you know, like as I mentioned, most of other programs, I mean, there are no test component, only assignment submissions. Then because of that also, this program is differentiated, because, you know, like, I mean, when there are examinations involved in any program, now validity of the program considered as or ranked as very high. And also all other modules which are with in courses, in the sense it may be assignment, sometimes it is with a group presentation, now individual assignment, and so many other activities as well. All in all, actually you will be getting very comprehensive knowledge and also application, as it is mentioned, because at the end of the day, I mean, having an MBA is not 3 letters. Basically, you have to earn the MBA. Now, how to earn this particular MBA? You have to have a change of your behavior. Now, today is the very first day. Another exactly 18 months time, when you're walking out of APIT, actually your behavioral change, thinking pattern change is something that we are expecting. For that, actually, we have wonderful set of lecturers now who are representing industry and also, you know, state universities. And with all these things, you'll be getting comprehensive academic rigor and also same time extended practical capacity. Now with that, actually you can have wonderful 1.5 years experience that is going to be a memorable one. Now that is what actually we are expecting from you. Now this is not a single-handed activity, because this is a process. Then we need your support, as well as we will be supporting you as well, as Ms. Kaushali mentioned. Now we have all type of support that we are providing, because, you know, like we have a library facility online, as well as like, I mean, physical library, where it is one of the best libraries that we have in private you know, education institutes. And also we have our IT platforms and all the supporting staff. They'll be working, I think you will be realizing, daytime as well as nighttime. I mean, they'll be supporting you. And also same time, academic administration for you directly, Charmin, Ms. Charmin, and also Mihiri and all other academic staff, Alan, everybody will support you until you complete this particular work. And also same time, I wanted to highlight on the fact, now please understand, now this is going to be, you are reading for your degree, yeah, reading for your master's. From today, like when it comes to your CV, you'll be indicating reading for MBA, which means actually that you have to read a lot. That is why I told you, we can do something, and what we are expecting from your side to enhance and challenge our lecturers. Right? Don't consider this is undergraduate. You have to always argue, right? Then you have to incorporate novelty. Now, with all these things only that you can gain that MBA experience. Otherwise, what will happen? You'll be getting 3 letters, but it doesn't mean anything, right? Then you have to get this. And also same time, I would like to congratulate you all, and we'll be trying our best to support you for your MBA journey. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, this is time. I'll give you like very lengthy explanations and things, but I think today is not the day for that because you have been here since 7 o'clock. If you have any questions. Vipula, any questions from you?
Not for now, not for now.
All right. Definitely you will be asking, right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, okay. Shanali? Shanaka, do you have any questions?
Not at the moment, Doctor, no.
Sure. Okay, right. Dilshan?
Not at the moment either.
All right, then we'll be meeting again. Then we'll give you like all the inputs, and I think all the Colombo students actually, hopefully that you got invitations for tomorrow lectures. Thank you so much, and see you. And I'll hope to see you in classroom as soon as possible. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening.
You too. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Arangza.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor. Good night.
Thank you. Good night. Good night.